Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you could attend this evening. I'm so excited. I have my friend in the business, Wendy McLawn. She has been taking Juice Plus a couple years longer than myself, but we're both super passionate about what we're going to be sharing tonight because we know that it's a lot thrown at us, especially in these last 6-7 months. So we want to make something simple for you guys, okay? Anybody up for simple and healthy? I know I am. So, and that's the fun part about what I get to do is just share that with other people. So I will, Wendy, if you want to say anything before we get started, and I'll share our screen. Anything you want to?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks so much for joining us tonight. And I really would love to just learn a little bit more about what brought you guys to the call tonight. We don't want this to just be a one-way dump presentation. We'd love to have more of like a conversation with you. So I know Margie and I are super passionate about all of this, and we'd just love to hear a little bit about what you might hope to learn tonight. So you might be muted, but you can just unmute yourself and share. We'd love to hear.
Sam, I think I'm unmuted, but for me, I'm just getting started and I'm trying to share with some friends of mine really the goodness of Juice Plus, what it can offer for you health-wise and what it can offer to your kids health-wise, because for me, being a grandmother of 5 and having family that do a lot of sports, having the vitamins, and how they're processed and put together is very important. The other thing I'm really passionate about is the Tower Garden and the ability to grow vegetables inside and the ability not to worry about getting your lettuce when there's a recall, because that seems to happen every other week. So those are the kind of the things that I'm wanting to share with people to make them, one, maybe think about having a Tower Garden in their home, and 2, possibly signing up to, do complete or do fruit and vegetable, as a source for their immunity and for their health going forward.
Great.
I'm interested in learning about the Tower Garden also.
Wonderful, Heather. Thanks. Okay, anybody else?
I hope to learn more about nutrition in general and just how central it is to our immune system and our health and our activities, and how simple yet powerful it is. So I'm excited to learn more there.
Thank you, Kristen. Well, I think one of the things that we'll love to do is we'll share a little bit about our story. We'll kind of weave it in and out of some of these PowerPoint slides that I'll be showing, just to kind of give you a visual. So at least you can have something to go by, but yet, we'll share a little bit of our heart, and Wendy and I might bounce in and out a little bit on all sections of it. And if anybody does have a question as we're going through, please don't hesitate. There's a little chat button at the bottom of your screen. Click your question in there. Just make sure it's going to everyone. If you want to send something to either Wendy or myself privately, you can do that as well, and we can answer that for you. So we just want this to be very interactive, so you guys feel a part of this and you can learn. And we want to be more specific to what you're looking for, because we can go on and on about all of this. And so
get a little excited.
Yeah.
And Heather, it was great to see your face. I don't know if you were going to share something that you wanted to learn tonight, but we're really glad you're here.
I was just trying to get it to work, but then it keeps shutting off.
Oh, darn. Okay. All right. Well, it was nice to see you for a hot second.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I'll go ahead and share my screen here, and let me optimize it here so that way you guys can see everything. So, and as it's circling around, so great. So thank you guys so much. This is what I love, is inspiring healthy living, because to me, I think if I can make help somebody make one simple change in their life, then that was all worth it for me, because all it takes is one good thing will lead to the next good thing. And hopefully that starts a chain of command for other positive things happening for other people. So, how can we be healthier? you look at these items on this list by exercising, drinking more water, using safer products, eating real food, managing your stress. That's probably going to be a hard one, right? Because it's hard when you can manage some of the things in your own life, but what about what other people are doing that keep distracting us in our life? And that's a tough piece. But tonight, I think what we're going to just focus on is fruits and vegetables. This is something that's been near and dear to my heart. When I started as a reflexologist 25 years ago, we talked about this all the time. And every person and every professor I had said that most diseases are preventable. And I liked being in a field that I could use my, what I was doing to help prevent people from getting these diseases. But I knew that just the reflexology alone couldn't do it. And I knew food was going to be a big part of that. And, the news isn't that they're so good for you, but they could really save your life. And I don't know if people really feel or have really recognized that is such a powerful thing for them and what food is, because food is that medicine. So how many of you know that you need to eat 7 to 13 fruits and vegetables in a day? I know most of my patients that come in, they're like, I eat about 3 or 4. And even if they do, they might hit it on like 1 or 2 days of the week. And that's pretty much it. So that's been a really hard one. But, what happens to us, when we do start, eating more of the amounts, and knowing that if you're athletes, and I think we might have some athletes on the call too, you guys need to step it up a notch even more. Most athletes, I always like, since I was a coach, had them eating at least 16 plus fruits and veggies a day. So we really had a hard time and a struggle to get them to get that, not only in the amounts, but also the variety. And that's what I love about Juice Plus, because that's all Juice Plus is taking fruits and vegetables, they're pulverizing them, they're putting them in these, capsules so that they can preserve this great nutrition. And this plant power is so powerful because, and I'll show you in here in a few minutes, what that looks like, how much we could actually get into our diet every day. So not only for Could you guys not hear me?
Just for a second, it got
okay.
muted. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so anyway, so we'll move on to the next, so that way you guys can see, what I'm talking about. This is the power of fruits and veggies and berries. How many of you have eaten this variety in every single day? When I was talking about the 7 to 13 raw fruits and veggies in our diets, and then athletes, 16 or more, look at what you can get every day conveniently packaged in here. I can tell you, like today, I probably could pick off about 3 or 4 things in here that I actually ate. And what about the remainder? That is not something I'm going to be able to get on a consistent basis every single day. And that's what we're talking about, the power of nutrition and getting that and that variety. So the other thing that I love about the Juice Plus company is they were able to take what the fish were eating, and which was all the plants. And not only that, they were also looked outside of what fish, the omegas that the fish were eating, also in other plants. And if you can see here, it is 100% plant-based and it is sustainable. So I love getting the full spectrum of omegas, the 3, the 5, the 6, 7, and 9. And knowing that they did preserve it in such a healthy way that we are ensured that we are going to get the nutrition that this has to offer. And I'll tell you more about that too. But here's another thing. This was like a saving grace for me. I never had enough time for breakfast in the morning. I might grab, a thing of yogurt or maybe a piece of fruit, and out the door I went. And I knew I was slacking in this area, not only for me, but it was a great opportunity that I could get in my kids when my kids were still at home, to help them bridge that gap too. So now I have a complete meal that I can take and grind it up in a shake. I put this powder in there, some ice, some water, and I might put a couple fruit or something else in there just to change the flavor up. And then out the door I go. And you look at how much protein, fiber, and the best part about, for those of you that are worried about some of the sugars, it's so low glycemic because they use all of the part of the vegetables in their protein powder mix. And I love it because my patients that are the, patients that are with the diabetes and thing, this was like a huge big seller for me because I wanted something I could get in their body without worrying about their sugar spiking up. Not only that, but also from our cancer patients that I had, because they really had to watch the acidic value. And because the Juice Plus is low acidic as well, it really made a difference. But what about you guys that are into the non-GMOs, the vegan part, the gluten and dairy free? Well, they thought of everything. So they put it all here together, and everything is completely, safe for pretty much all walks of life, which I love. So all we're doing here is bridging the gap. Look at what we most of the time eat, or probably not any of you guys on this call, right? I'm sure none of you guys are eating that kind of meal to the left on a daily basis. But if you do, and when you do, and people that you love do, now we know we have something that's going to bridge the gap, because what we want to be eating is that full ray of sunshine on the right-hand side. And this is what gave this mom a 4 peace of mind. What I love about this food that Juice Plus uses in their all their products is it is a food label. So know the difference between what you're actually eating and also what you're taking in other supplement forms. And I want to make sure that, people know that difference. So always make sure that you're reading a food label and not an ingredient label, knowing that they have non-GMO ingredients, they're vegan, kosher, dairy-free, all of those things. But here's the other cool part. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you guys say that your product is really cool and it's got all these wonderful things in it. But here's what makes us stand out too. It's the NSF certified. It's a third party that actually checks to see, yes, they are using blueberries, but are these blueberries good for them? Yes, they are. And are these blueberries and not have any contaminants in them or have any herbicides or pesticides? Absolutely. And for you athletes that are on the call tonight, you are safe if you're competing at any high level that you would need to have it sports certified. It is by the NSF certification. So it's covering all the things that we might be concerned about. But here's, as a healthcare professional myself, this is what the last clincher was. It's so researched that there was nothing that I could find in this product that would ever make me doubt on any patient that came in my office that I could not recommend it to. And that's what I loved about it. And when you look at all the gold standard research that was done on the Juice Plus products, these are not fly-by-night universities or medical institutes. You look at Vanderbilt and you look at University of Texas, MD Anderson, all of these different university and medical institutes are people that are institutes that are very high standard, that they are making the wave. I mean, when people look up to these location or these medical institutes, these are the people are the setting the standards, or should I say, setting the bar for everyone. So I want you to feel comfortable in knowing that, but also look what it does in the body. Thousands of doctors have really been attracted to this. And I know when I went up to over to Marshall University to do a presentation to their athletes, I had a few docs in the room and nurses. And as soon as I started on this portion of it, the doctors actually walked up and walked over to my table to pick up all the research. And that was the clinch for them. And in fact, the doctor that actually did walk up and over, his family is still on it today. So I want you to feel very comfortable in knowing that it's helping every part and every function of your body. You just fill in the blank. You can read the list and you can go back later and actually go on the website of the person that invited you, and they'll have a detailed report of every single research that they've done. And you can actually pull it up and see all the details in there to actually make you feel a little bit better about it as well. But you know what? This is really cool. I love that I can, say that, my kids were all a part of the research for the Family Healthy Starts. And what I loved about it, all 4 of my kids got Juice Plus for free when they started. And you could, kids ages 4 and above, even if they're an undergrad in college, can get it for free. And with a sponsor and adult. So any adult that actually takes Juice Plus can sign them up and they can get it delivered right to the mailbox. And there you go. But look at what they're showing. when if I could have had this, back when my kids were in elementary school, saying that 60% of them or 60% of the time they were missing fewer days of school, that's a big winner. And it's not just for the child missing out in the school. Of course, we want our kids to be healthy all the time, but what about the adult that has to take off time and use their own personal sick days for their child's sick days? That's a huge. But if you look at these percentages that are so high that when they're visiting the doctor less and they're also taking less over-the-counter prescription drugs, that's savings in your pocket. And that's what we want to do. We want to have better quality of life, but we also want to have better quality in your pocketbook as well. So some of you that were on the call maybe have questions or want to talk a little bit more about the Tower Garden. Please, bounce in here any questions that you might have. This thing is the bomb. If you are into, even if you're not have a green thumb, or if you're not even into growing plants, this was something that my husband and I both took on as a project, and he kind of has a bigger passion for it, just because I think it was putting the hardware together and all this stuff. But when it only took us about 20 minutes to put it together, I guess it wasn't as hard as he thought it was going to be. But what I love is I could have my garden year round, because this makes me happy. When I see green and I see flowers and I see produce that I can grow myself and I don't have the carbon footprint for, this makes me happy, not only for my home, but also in my office. I love growing it year round in my office because it is a green space. And I love that I can provide to my clients some good, healthy options of, this produce. And I remember one of my clients, when they came in, they're like, oh, we have a big garden. We grow a lot of these lettuces and different things in them. And I was like, but you haven't tasted mine. And so I packaged him up a big bag of lettuce to take home. And within 15 minutes, because he only lived 5 minutes away from my office, his wife texted me and she said, where can I buy this lettuce? And I said, you can't buy it in stores, but you can grow it. You can grow it on the Tower Garden. So it really was a game changer when people started to taste the produce that came off of this, because you can grow it to fruition. Even though the farmers do a great job, but a lot of them have to pick it before it's fully ripened, because they want a longer shelf life. At least the grocery store does. And if they want the grocery store selling their product, they kind of have to do what they got to do. But here's the thing, it's like when you can grow it to full fruition, when those vitamins are fully 100% in, you're going to taste a difference. Those of you that maybe never grew up with a garden don't know what that difference tastes like. And a lot of people that didn't have that, when they taste the produce on the Tower Garden, they're like, wow, I had no idea that this is how it was supposed to taste like. So I think you're going to love that. So anyways, I was up to 4 Tower Gardens that I had, at my office, at my home. And I just wanted to pay some of it forward. So I got it into some less fortunate areas that people weren't getting produce grown, or they had rooms for gardens. So really all about, healthy giving out to our communities. And it's really made a lot of kids' lives a lot different. And because we were able to, give them that opportunity. What I love about Juice Plus, it's not just about sharing and getting, fruits and vegetables. We really do want to personalize your healthy living yourself. We provide so many extra support for our customers, and even people that, even if you don't decide this is a good fit for you right now, we want to give you these opportunities so that way you can be cooking, healthier. We can be giving your kids a good start on some healthy choices. And we just want to revolutionize, what we have today in our world that's going to make a difference by the education that we can provide for you. So I love that the company is just a giving company. They want to give these resources out to people just to help make a difference in the world. And that is just so incredible to me. And that's the kind of people in the company that I want to be around. So we're going to transition a little bit in the company side of it, but I think some of you might have some questions. And so I'd like to answer. Wendy or I, either one can answer for you. So if you'd like to unmute yourself and share some of the, the education that I just shared with you, I'd love to hear from you guys.
Maybe even if you want to share one of your family health legacy or one of your health goals. I know for me, when I first learned about this almost 17 years ago, I had a huge family health legacy of cancer. And I learned then through this community that the food we eat can either add turn on those good genes that help us prevent disease, or or not, so I didn't have any idea. When I first heard that quote that Margie said, the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are so good for you, they're so good for you, they could save your life. I actually laughed out loud. I had no idea the power of plants. So I'd love to hear from you. Do you understand the power of plants? Is there a health goal that you're hoping to be able to impact? And we could maybe address that a little bit for you too.
Yes.
Is it all about prevention for everybody?
I have one. So this, I don't know, this might relate with other people. I feel like I have been taking Juice Plus for 5 years now, and it's been amazing for my health journey, and just especially being very active and having that consistent nutrition has changed my cravings and my recovery, and it's been super good. But I feel like something I struggle with because I'm an athlete is eating enough. And I do the shakes, which is really good, but I feel like it's hard sometimes to like eat enough food or know when to eat. So I don't know if this necessarily goes with what you're saying, but one of my goals is to really work on eating more. So some days I do like take extra Juice Plus and it helps, but yeah, it's definitely hard sometimes, as like, we have all parts of our life working together and trying to balance those out, and having that simplicity is super good. But I'm realizing now, like, to have success, like better success, you kind of have to like be more organized and things like that. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any like further education on just like frequency of eating or with athletes or anything like that.
That's a great question, Kristen, because a lot of athletes tend to eat what they normally would eat, and their activity level goes up, and they really do need to. If they really want to build muscle, build endurance, and build that strength, they're going to have to intake. But we want to focus on quality over quantity, because it's the quality of some of the food too, and that quantity that you want to increase. So what I've always recommended to athletes is usually within a 30 to 45-minute window after a workout, get some healthy food in your body right away, because that post recovery, and which I love about the shakes, it's quick and convenient. You can even carry the powder. You can even be at the gym and fill your water bottle up, and then, with whatever ounces of water you want in there, and just throw that shake package in there, shake it up and drink it. And you've got a great, perfect, complete meal. So the time after that post meal is very critical for athletes, because that's when your muscle is broke down by the oxidative stress. And when that oxidative stress breaks down that muscle, it needs good fuel to replace it. If not, this is how we always see athletes get injured, because they're not replacing it with that good quality within the time limit too. And we'll start to see injuries happen over and over. So it really is important in that window of time, and that helps. And I always try to get people, just try to clean, good carbs that are going to be quick energy for fuel. So if you are performing, with those few hours beforehand, making sure that they're good, accessible, the fruits and veggies that you can put in your system that your body can easily access without having to worry about breaking so much down is really important too. And then just take a look back, what your workout schedule is going to be during the week, and kind of know where you're going to have to fit that in there, and what you're burning out and what you're taking in. But it is the quality is much more of a focus that you want to focus on as well.
I think along that same lines is, just asking yourself, like, what makes you think that you're not getting enough nutrition? Are you feeling hungry all the time? A lot of times with athletes, especially, dehydration is a big factor. And when our body is dehydrated, it will trigger a thirst mechanism. A hunger mechanism in our body. And so if we drink a big glass of water, 20, 30 minutes later, if we're still hungry, then it totally is time to refuel. Otherwise, it might have just been some dehydration going on. So that's a really important thing too. And, we're always asked, how much water should you drink every day? And, And there's so many rules of thumbs. And I think the easiest rule of thumb is just to drink enough until your urine is clear. Then you know your body is hydrated enough. So
Mhm.
that's another key factor too, especially since, our muscles are mostly made up of water. And, as an athlete, you're trying to restore those muscles. So it's super important to make sure you're hydrated.
Oh, absolutely, Wendy. Great advice.
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Good.
Well, I'll have Wendy go ahead and if you guys think of some questions, I'll be watching as Wendy's going to share a little bit about the company behind, because when we're buying stuff, you want to get to know the company behind your product. So I think this is great, and she'll be able to share more about that.
Well, thanks, Margie. And what I can share about this is the fact that, hang on a second. Can you put that in view mode? I think it's not displaying the big, like the little
Oh.
screen down at the bottom there, just to have it blow up. It's because you're seeing all the side,
Oh, okay. Let me,
like how you had it for your own self.
okay.
It didn't
let's
have
see
the
here.
screen.
Huh.
So just to
Okay.
kind of talk a little bit about what Margie was saying is that, you're making an investment in your health. And so like anything, when you're investing in your health, you want to know about who is the company that you're investing in. And that's one of the things that I get as excited about the company behind Juice Plus as I do the product itself. My background's in business. I've seen a lot of corporate mission statements and things. And what I saw this mission statement from Jay Martin, our president and founder, and he said he wanted to create a stable and lasting company to help as many people as possible realize their dreams. I got excited because I've not seen too many mission statements, in fact, none besides this one, that cared about my dreams. And that really made sense to me. And I love the principle of stable and lasting. One of the biggest things about this, and Margie, it's not letting me advance the screen at all. So I don't
Okay.
know if you want to just go to the next one, but
Yeah.
one of the things that really can make a company stable and lasting are their core beliefs, and this is really comes from the top down, and you'll see it infiltrated throughout our entire organization. But of course, we've got the longevity of being in business for 50 years. We just celebrated our 50-year anniversary, and then we also have the fact that we're very authentic. We love to just be very realistic about what our mission is. We don't have a whole catalog of products. We're basically just, a company that believes in a reduced product line that is top quality, and that you can approach us about anything. Our company is, as I mentioned, founded in 1970. We're over 28 countries this year will be our, how many countries we actually share Juice Plus in. So whether you have friends in your backyard or friends all over the world, it's really fun to know that this literally is a mission about inspiring healthy living around the world. And of course, being in the wellness industry, there's that's such a popular, trendy industry. And what we love about it is that we know that fruits and vegetables are not a fad. They're not a trend. They're here to stay forever. And they are the foundation of good health and nutrition for a lifetime. So our business model is very unique. So just like our product is unique and kind of one of a kind, so is our business model. It's really a hybrid of businesses where it's kind of like a multi-level marketing from the standpoint that there's exponential growth that you can experience because you can grow a team of people. But that's really just working smarter, not harder. If I work 10 hours a week and teach 10 other people to work that, I just impacted people's lives by investing in 100 hours of work in a week. And so that's what I love to be able to do, is to really make that impact on people. What's nice is that it's such a low startup cost. So even though it's a tried and proven system like a franchise, it's only $52 to get started versus the hundreds of thousands of dollars you have to pay for many franchises in order to get that same six-figure income potential. There's no inventory, there's no minimum levels. We don't get bonuses for signing people up. So you don't ever have to worry that we're going to be calling you at the end of the business month to make sure that we're meeting our quota, because our mission is about getting people healthy, not about meeting our own personal quotas. And so you got to really appreciate that. It is a really simple way to create some additional income for your family. In today's gig economy where people are looking to be able to be able to not only make a difference for others, but also to make an impact for their own life. This is a really simple thing that you can do part-time or full-time, depending on what your personal family needs are. And so I really appreciate that. I know I love being able to work from anywhere. Right now, I'm in my parents' home. My dad just had a shoulder replacement surgery today. And so this business allows me to design my life and to work or be wherever I want to be. I mean, my parents live 4 hours from where I do right now. And so it's really a special gift to be able to design your life and know that you don't have to miss out on those important things in life. And, you know, a lot of times when you take off from a regular job, you don't get paid. Well, that's not the case here because you get the opportunity to create a residual income. So, Margie, if you want to go to the next slide, there we go. One of the things that really attracted me, especially because I was a single mom when I first learned about this 17 years ago. I've now remarried, and my husband and I have 6 children and 5 grandchildren together. But one of the things that was really attracted to me and what we still use today as a family are our benefits package. These are second to none benefits package. They're better than what my husband had at a Fortune 500 company. It's full medical, dental, life insurance, vision, chiropractic, short and long-term disability. We get a monthly business allowance, and that family tuition reimbursement is amazing for college. Even when my husband went back to get his master's, they reimbursed some of his master's program. So it's really just powerful. And what I love about that is that, again, you know, you don't have to worry about your healthcare. You can build this opportunity, if you want to a position where you can actually attain these type of benefits, and it gives you options for your family. You know, Margie mentioned being able to give back into the community, and our company just really believes that it is so important to us to give back. We know that there's hunger issues, and we've donated over 10 million of our complete protein meals to the Volunteers of America and the Children's Health Fund. Also the Boys and Girls Club of America across the US, they've all received one of those beautiful tower gardens. And so not only are we providing healthy food for them, but we're teaching them about sustainability and how to grow plants, and they'll grow them, and they'll even sell them at farmers markets. And so it's teaching them entrepreneurial skills. It's just a really amazing opportunity. And then we're also the #1 sponsor of the St. Jude's Marathon. You're probably familiar with the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, where no child has to pay for their cancer care. And our company has been the #1 sponsor in raising over $11 million a year for the St. Jude's Marathon initiative. So that's pretty amazing. So again, it's very important for us to be philanthropic. You know, what we get to do is we get to change not only our own health, but we get to change and share others' lives as well. We get to do this as we're living life. If social media is something that's important to you and you like to be able to make an influence and an impact there, this is super simple to share in that regard. But mostly, no matter how you're sharing, you're educating other people, empowering them to understand the role of nutrition to give them health and vitality for a lifetime, providing them free resources that are going to empower them to do so and make it simple for them to incorporate little changes that can have profound impact on their overall health. What I love is that our paychecks are simply a reflection of the number of lives that we've been able to touch with the gift of health. You know, we don't like to make any income claims or product claims for that matter. You know, this is not a magic pill. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a stable and lasting company that provides the opportunity to have foundational nutrition in your body, as well as to provide and bridge that gap financially for you if that's something that's of need to you. So, you know, not everybody does it. It's not for everybody. And as far as the business side is concerned, we know the product's for everybody. If you're breathing, you need more fruits and veggies in your diet. It's safe from womb to tomb. So that's a really fun thing. But, you know, the business side isn't necessarily for everybody. And yet it's also an opportunity where anybody can do it. You don't have to have a special degree behind your name or a college education even. You know, if you care about people and want to help them be healthier, this is a really simple avenue in which to do that. You know, there's a lot of people that will decide why they want to say yes to this opportunity. A lot of times they want to say yes for their own personal family because they want to be able to say yes more often to the things that are important to them. But more times than not, what I have seen is that people have such a servant heart and they want to make a difference in the lives of other people. yeah, they might want to cover a car payment. They might want more financial and time freedom options, but really making a difference and being able to give back and give more lucratively to the organizations that are important to them are really the things that I think drive the majority of the people in our business. Because I know me personally, I would share Juice Plus whether or not I ever got paid another penny on it, just because of I know the profound impact it has had on transforming people's health. Really, if anything you heard tonight made sense to you and you want to learn more, you could definitely get with the person that invited you. There's several options in which to get started. You could become your own Juice Plus customer. In fact, you could even sponsor a child and give them the gift of health for free. Or if you're, wanting to think of three to five people in your family that, really want to be able to get healthy, we can show you how to do that. It's a simple way to share it with them and to earn the sales profit back on your own personal order. And then there might be some of you that are like Margie and I, that we just really get excited about the extra income that we've been able to help people create for their families that have really made a difference. Did you know that just $500 a month can keep 80% of families out of bankruptcy? Well, for me, that's a really big deal. Wow. Can you imagine being able to give a family a gift like that? And then there's those of us who really wanted to and or needed to create a financial plan B that not only gave us time options, financial options, but also medical benefits. This truly is something that, you would be able to say yes to if that's what you wanted to create. So definitely get with the person that invited you, because they would love to be able to have you join us on this mission where you too could inspire healthy living around the world. Now, I know I just dumped kind of a lot of facts and things on you, but be more than happy to just answer anything that might make sense to you about it, and we can go from there.